Okay, today on the workbench, a customer brought me this. It is a Nintendo Switch that is in pieces. They told me that it wasn't docking to the TV anymore and that they go ahead and give it a shot to replace the USB port, and realized that they were in over their head and decided to bring it here to see if we could help them out. Let's take a look at what's going on with that motherboard. And one of the things I know, when someone takes apart their console, they take apart way more than is necessary to get the job done, and that makes reassembly more annoying and time consuming. Alright, we can see here that their USB port is removed, and there is like flux residue everywhere. I mean, there is not a spot on the board that there is not flux residue. Let's take a look at that USB port connection area, and oh my goodness. They successfully removed every single pad on this motherboard. Well, you know, that's not good. What's going to be, I mean, we can fix that. I don't know what the heck is with this solder blob. See, because I'm wondering, at this point, you made a mistake, right? Removed the USB port without any heat. I don't, like, just rip it off maybe. I'm not sure what happened. But this solder here indicates to me that they were going to attempt to solder it on, but, well, there's nothing to solder it on to. So, I mean, they threw in the towel, obviously, but, man, what is with all the flux and this large solder ball here? Like, I think you got to realize that these are gone, and there's not going to be anything to solder to. Anyway, you know, I like to wipe off the thermal compound, because if you don't, it gets everywhere, and there is signs of it all over the place. Like, I don't even, what is this? I have no idea. And we got crud on this battery header. Okay. Before doing anything with repair wise, I just need to clean this up, because I can't take it. I want to jump right back. Okay, now I feel like I can look at it. So we have a failed do-it-yourself repair attempt, and I don't criticize that people want to try and fix their own device. There's a good chance that that's the reason you're watching this video, is because you're interested in fixing your own device. Look at this, is broken too. The thing is, you got to realize when you're in over your head. If this customer had brought this device to us in the first place, the likelihood that it could have been fixed would be very high. And now with the amount of damage, you know, we're going to fix this USB port section, but who knows if they broke ribbon connectors or what have you. Best case scenario, this is going to cost 25% more to the customer than what it would have cost if they brought it to us in the first place. Worst case scenario, it'll cost even more than that, or not be repairable at all. So, yeah, look at this thing's going to have to be, is that even held on by anything? Look at this. Huh. That's broken. Anyway. Alright. We're going to have to replace this inductor coil, get this solder crap off there, clear up all the holes, and then install a replacement port, replace this part. And what's going on here? Is there supposed to be something here? Those might be empty, because I know some board revisions had things in these spots, and then later board revisions they removed it. This doesn't look like torn pads, and there's no solder there, so I'm guessing that was empty from the factory. Alright, we're going to proceed with doing the work that we need to do. Okay, so we're going to get some flux here, because we got to clear those holes. I'm probably gonna mix in some leaded solder to make wicking those a little bit easier. Now let's, not hot enough yet. Okay. Let's get that right there. Okay. I'm gonna remove all this solder. That big chunk of solder needs to go bye-bye. Alright, and let's see if it's hot enough to remove this guy. No, see, I need to move the heat right there. Come on. And let's get this off of there. This part of the board is harder to heat up because it's so narrow. Come on. Alright, I'm cranking the heat up. Or just the air speed. Alright, there it goes. Okay, good. Now we're gonna clean this up. And we are not going to try and rebuild all these traces. We're going to use the Rip Traces Flex workaround cable. And if you're not familiar with that cable, then you'll have to search out one of our other videos where you can see all about that. And you're going to see it in action here on this video as well. Because this right here, this is a waste of time. The amount of time it would take to rebuild this just totally exceed the cost effectiveness of this repair. So we're going to do it a different way. Next, we're gonna make sure that we have continuity where we need it. So I'll put this here and there. And so because I have continuity from here to here, I know that this is soldered correctly here, passing through the filter and going all the way down to the chip. Same with this one. Okay. Then this one. Oh, that goes to this capacitor. Good. 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 Okay. So now that we know that this is connected to the filters properly, and then the rest of these are, you know, as plain as the eye to see are connected. And as long as the USB port got soldered to the pads properly, we should have a good diode reading on this port. And we're going to check that just as quickly as my alcohol dries up from the cleanup. And before testing this, I wanted to give a shout out to user Jack IPyGG, who mentioned in another video that I didn't need to run a jumper wire to this smaller filter because I could just grind the trace right in front of it and solder directly to that. That was definitely helpful and it saved time. Anyway, here we got the port tester, gives us diode readings of all the pins, and we're going to connect it and see if we have good readings. And we have open loop on 8. Let's see, what do I have my notes for 8? Now 8, according to my notes, goes to the PI3 chip, and that would make sense for the system not docking. PI3 chip is this guy right here, which ideally I should have changed before installing the USB port, but I had tested the capacitor and it wasn't shorted, and it's, well, let me put this in diode mode. It's got a proper diode reading, it's not shorted. So generally, if we have a short on pin 8, it's either a bad chip here or one of these filters are blown. But we already checked all the filters and that cap's not shorted. So I'm thinking it's not this chip. And one of the things I've learned is that this chip, I don't know the schematics or anything like that, but I think it's routed through the M92 chip here. And I've had problems there, so let's check for shorts here. Oops. That's not shorted. That's not shorted. Well, I'm getting inconsistent readings across these 3 capacitors. And I've also seen this chip go bad even when there's no other indicators of that chip being bad. So we're going to replace this chip and see if that open loop goes away. Okay, so we got the M92 changed out and it's positioned perfect. So now it's time to connect the thing. Okay, so let's get positioned here where the camera can see it. We're going to connect this thing. I turn it on first. We connect. And survey says alright, we got good diode readings across the board. I now have no doubt that this would charge properly. Well, I guess once I put that coil back on, and then it should dock properly also. I'm going to go ahead and put that coil back on real quick. I would say one time, and I know they definitely won't charge without this inductor on there. I mean, obviously. But about the easiest repair I ever had. So I opened up a switch for no charging, and when I opened it up, this inductor fell out, and I put a new one on and problem solved. So I guess that's real nice when it goes that easy. Of course, today's job was not that easy. Come on. Actually, I don't do these that often. Okay. I think I'm gonna switch to a pen with more heat. Let's make sure that flows in there. All right, good. Okay, fun fact, for those who don't know, before you go to put switch motherboard back into its casing, make sure that it charges. Okay, you don't need to have all the crap hooked up. Just connect the battery, and then here, we'll show you on the other camera here. Okay, connect a battery, connect a amp meter, okay, and then plug your power in. See how I'm going to do that? Why is this window like this? Oh my gosh, hang on. Okay, so connect the battery, connect the amp meter, connect your power. And from there you're going to be able to see your voltage and amperage. Then pull the cord out, flip it over, make sure it charges both ways. Okay, and you're good to go. Then we get to put it back together, because what I do need it back together for is to see if it turns on and docks. And I've got, you know, the many parts bin here, and everything came to me in pieces. So I got to put this back together, and we'll be right back to see if everything worked out with this job. Okay, we got this most of the way back together, because that's how I do in case there's a problem and needs to be fixed. We got a dock, and we got a channel, and the switch is on, and let's see if it connects to the channel. Haha! We did it! And that's why they call me the magician. Right? Right, Sam?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? If this video was entertaining, hit the like button. If it wasn't entertaining, hit the dislike button. If you would like to tell me where I screwed up, drop a comment. Anyway, appreciate you watching. Goodbye.